So, in this episode, there's definitely some moving parts. Um, to in this episode, mostly to me, I could identify four major um moving parts that happened in this episode. And the first one I want to talk about is that we get introduced to um a new exam, and it's explained how the events will work, but the gist of it, or what I got, was that it's gonna work similarly to the paper shuffle or whatever. And she also explained, the leader of the losing class will immediately get expelled. And that brings up my other concern of this episode, was that not for some reason, probably Anokoji is planning something, but he he offered himself as leader. So I don't know, just makes me wonder, like, what does he have planned? Like, what is he planning to do? Cause he kind of had bring up my other concern in this episode. So in the beginning of the episode, we met the chairman that replaced, like, the purple haired girl's father, the new chairman, I guess. And you can see the whole scene, but he basically, like, he doesn't threaten I don't know Koji, but he says, I worked for your dad, and your dad said, drop out willingly. And to that, I know Koji obviously said no. And the teacher kind of walked off like, oh, okay, I understood. So it just makes me wonder, like, if I know Koji is willing to do that to his own son, it just makes me wonder, like, knowing that now I know Koji kind of disobeyed him, a direct order, I guess. Kind of makes me wonder, like, what other strings is I don't know Koji's dad gonna pull during this exam. Kind of the semi last thing I did want to mention was that we see Hirata, these days he has these outbursts, and in this episode he has this outburst, in the whole episode. So it makes me wonder, one, like, why is this happening now? Like, is he being pressured by something? Because this definitely came out of left field. And kind of a feeling that the more and more he has this outburst, like we saw today in class, he had this outburst, the more and more he does that, the more and more he'll become less popular with the class. And then one of my concerns is that somehow at the end of this exam, they'll at the end of this exam, I'm guessing, somehow I know Koji will figure out a way to expel Hirata, because it's like in Koji's way. And Hirata's just having this random outburst for no reason. So I do wonder what's triggering that for him. And if at the end of season 3, I wouldn't really be shocked if I wouldn't really be surprised if at the end of season 3, Koji finds out some way to, expel Hirata using one of the exploits of test one of the loopholes. So there's that, and one more thing I did want to mention before I end the video was that, so like towards the end, I know Koji, as I said, he's, for some reason, he said he willingly, offered himself as, I'll be the leader, and like I said, the losing team's leader faces expulsion immediately, like no exception. So if they lose, if I know Koji is whoever is the leader, will get, expelled, no exceptions. So I wonder what his plan is. But one interesting thing that he did mention at the end of the episode was that he said something like, oh, like, we'll be playing chess, pretty much. Like the way he talked about it seemed like Class A. Like he said his like while he was sitting and picking these events or whatever as the leader, he if you see that scene, he kind of planned everything. So he made sure, Ichinose Class B went against Class D, and then that would leave Anokoji to go against Class A. And then he said, well, he didn't say, but it was said by him that, we'll be, as our game, we'll be competing in chess. So I do wonder how that will go. Like, I could see a scenario where, they do chess, and then Ainokoji, he purposefully loses the match. So, as the leader, he's gonna have to be expelled. But like I said, he's probably gonna pull some strings, make some calls, like we saw earlier today. He made, calls Ichinose to make sure to plan that, he would go against Class A, and Class B would go against Class D. So anyways, I just feel like, instead of him getting expelled for losing the match, he'll reverse it. I think he'll make some phone calls or whatever, and instead of him getting expelled, he'll designate Hirata getting expelled instead of the leader. So I wonder if that's how that whole thing's gonna work. But one subtle thing I did want to mention was that we saw Ainokoji kind of invite Kei to his room, and then he gave her like a necklace because it was her birthday, I guess. And of course she appreciated that, and the reason I'm mentioning that is because later in the episode, at the ending scene, when he was on his way to school, and he bumped into the former council president and the little purple-haired girl. He asked like, "Oh, are you guys dating?" And I don't know, I just feel like that whole ambiance did give me they kind of give us some clues that, Anna Coach is kind of coming out to show his shell, like he's getting more interested in, in people, in relationships, and just, it just feels like his growing feelings for Kay, and just that's pretty exciting to see, this kid getting feelings for Kay. Like, it seems like he's getting interested in that life. So I wonder where that will end up. But one last thing I did want to mention before I end this video was that while in the beginning, if you saw, while Hirata she kinda and while she was talking, while in that scene when they were in everyone was in the after school class, and they were talking about like, oh, let's plan like what events we should do. And then you know, Suzune Hirata kind of, she figured out, well, she didn't figure out, but there was two students missing. It was I forgot his name, but the really built kid, the guy who has like no interest in other people, and I forgot his name, but the very Tarzan character, the very arrogant, I guess, character. Him and Hirata were missing. So Hirata, we don't know what he was doing while he was out of the class. So that's kind of interesting. Like I said, the other guy that was missing, it was kind of like I expected that from him, because he doesn't really concern himself with the class. He just, like I said, he just does what he wants. So if he doesn't want to be there, that's kind of a good enough reason for him not wanting to be there, for him not being there. So we can assume that that guy's probably like probably in his room, like, or somewhere doing like, I don't know, exercise, I'm guessing, or just, walking around. But the main part is Hirata wasn't there. And then when Suzune was about to announce something, at the same time, the girl that has this big crush on Hirata, with the twin tails, I guess, she says, she we see her kind of rush out of class, like, oh, I need to do something, and she rushes out of class. So that's kind of a question, like, why would she do that? And if you saw her reaction, it really seemed like someone called her out to do something. Probably, if I'm guessing, probably like Hirata or someone else called her out of the class, and that's why she was so shaken up, because she was surprised, I'm guessing. And I don't know, just that whole interaction really gave me like, okay, watch out for that girl. Like, she's obviously like, there's obviously someone like pulling at her strings. There's obviously someone either telling her to act this way, or not giving her instructions of like, okay, you're gonna do this and that. So that's one character to keep your eye on. If you saw the episode, that was kind of like a iffy moment. Like, yeah, I just wanted to bring it to you guys' attention, because when I saw that scene, especially the girl, I had a lot of questions for like where she was going, and why she was so shaken up. Like, she stuttered when she said, oh, I'm gonna go to the bathroom or something, I'll be right back. And yeah, that whole interaction really, like, I don't know, just watch out for that girl, because obviously there's someone behind her planning something, either pulling your strings, or like I said, telling something to her that she has to do. So you have to watch out for that. But other than that, there's really nothing else. Overall, I really liked this episode, and I hope you guys felt the same. But yeah, certainly there's a lot of moving parts, and can't wait for next episode and see how that whole thing turns out and everything. But I think I'm gonna just end it here. Please leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye.